Clue seconds. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're back. Seekers Chronicles, Paranormal Historians, where the history meets the paranormal. Got it right this week. Perfect.
That was perfect, Anthony.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm glad I did that pretty good. So I think
You always do good.
I brought my girls out tonight, so we're going to show.
Oh.
We have maybe talk later on. The twins. So the twins.
Girls.
Yeah. So, how was your weekend? I know you did a lot of driving. You went visiting parents, didn't you?
I just got back. Yeah. So I'm exhausted. Yeah. It took about 6 hours to get there. I went to visit my parents this weekend. I only see them about maybe twice a year. So it was really special. Got to see my sisters, nieces, nephews. Pretty nice.
Wow. Yeah. Twice a year. That's.
And no investigating.
No effect. Yeah. You go every weekend. It's like, where's Jenny? She's somewhere in some haunted house with her K2 somewhere running around. So that's your every weekend for you. Wish I could
break
do
this
that.
weekend. Much needed break this weekend. I needed it mentally, physically. I needed a break. We all do.
Well, where I went, the cryptic and
I
paranormal. Oh, I see. I'm screwing up already. Conference. Yes, thank you. That's what I need you for. So I went there and I showed my sketch art. Had this nice little display. Well, a bunch of my pictures. I couldn't get them all up because I didn't have as much space as I thought. I had more to put up, but people seem to like it. Some people took my card to actually, if they want to have any kind of investigation, they want somebody to get some sketching done. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was a good option.
It's a great option. It's really cool. And I saw pictures. It looks so good, Anthony. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
I love your new display.
I met a bunch of people. Our guest tonight, I met there tonight, and she's going to be very cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people there, Ronnie LeBlanc and Dave Schrader, and even Scotty showed up. Scotty Davis. Scotty the medium. He showed up. He came over. We was talking to him, and it was a good weekend. But so what'd you say?
That's my co-star, Scotty the medium.
Sup, Ghost?
Sup, Ghost?
Oh yeah. So it was a nice thing. There was a lot of people there. So yeah, it was a nice little time there. Even if I
heard such good things about it. I did. Everybody said it was so great, and they can't wait to go next year. I heard really good things.
I'm definitely going back next year. They had food there. It was like a little thing, a little platter stuff, and so, of course, I got to feed the beast.
Yes,
the beast has to eat. So
you do.
So it was good.
That's funny.
So it was a good weekend. What do you call it? Cocos were there. Raul and Ronald Lourdes and it was a bunch of people. So it was a good weekend.
Good. I'm glad. I did some reading this weekend. Got a new book from Penny Griffiths Morgan in the mail.
Oh, that's Penny's book.
Yeah. She sent it to me. Isn't that the kindest thing ever?
That she mailed it from the UK.
She mailed it to me.
That's so cool
to read, and it's really, really good. So buy it. Becoming Peggy, really, really good.
Very cool.
We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, look, Mary Beth likes your shirt.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so we want to introduce our guest.
Have a song in their heads now.
Yeah, that's the only thing. but you know me, I can't remember the way the arrangement of the letters, the numbers. Call me, I got, but the rest of it's like 8675309.
I
Yeah,
got your
whatever.
number.
You got your number. So, all right. I want to introduce you. Well, I'm going to let Jenny introduce a guest because you know me, I could screw up a name. I don't want to screw up her name. And I mean, if I screw up her name, she might kick my butt. So here, introduce.
Okay, sure. No, and it's my honor every week to introduce our guests. So this week we have the lovely and talented Sophia Westcott. She is owner of the Convent Tattoo and Body Piercing shop, I guess you'd call it shop.
Hey, and our new friend. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you? Thanks for having me on
Here.
Good. It was great meeting you this weekend.
Oh, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
New people, new faces, new friends. Loved it.
It was your first time there too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a last jump on, but I was like, why not? Let's give it a whirl.
And I get to meet all your friends on the table. Yeah, she brought all her haunted dolls, and they were sitting there on the table,
friends,
waving at everybody as they walked by.
Friends.
It was awesome.
How far away are you from that location? So where was this conference?
North Jersey, Farmingdale, New Jersey. So we left my studio. Yeah, it was probably about an hour and 15 minutes. So it wasn't too bad, except I took the wrong exit and went 24 miles out of my way and paid the same toll booth 4 times. But it was okay. We made it.
Oh my gosh.
It took me 2 hours to get there.
Yeah, that's a tradition in New Jersey. You miss your exit.
You got 305 there. Is that Armando or Jenny? I'm not sure which one.
I think it's Mr. 305.
Oh, Mr. So that's Armando.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. And
great audience.
It was a good event. It really was. It wasn't overcrowded. You had sprouts, times when people were, and then there was times that you just like, but you got the haunted table, so everybody came to you right away.
Yeah, he's the popular one.
Yeah.
I saw that you had plenty of room for your drawings, which is nice because sometimes in these things we get so crowded in with his drawings that it's like, Yeah,
well, I had them on. This is the first time I actually put on displays. We first put them on this. I have on display. I used to put them on the table. So I used to put them on the table and just like those stand up frames. And I was talking. I'm Italian, so I got to talk with my hands. So I'm talking. I hit one. They all went down like dominoes. I'm like, it took me an hour to set those up. So
it was awful.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of people come and assisted me and helped me and pick them up. They all felt sorry for the old fat guy. So it was good.
Now you know why he brings me everywhere, to pick up his stuff.
Yeah.
And to carry his Red Bulls.
Yeah, it is Armando.
Pick up his stuff.
Mondo.
Hi, Mondo.
Yeah. So, so
where do you want to start?
How did you start?
At the beginning.
At the beginning. Being born to now.
Yeah, start from there. First you were born.
Well, I rose up from hell in 1979. No, I'm kidding.
I just came out some tunnel when I looked around and said, hell with this, I'm going back in.
Sometimes I wish I could.
I'm so young.
Yeah, that's the only place you get womb-to-womb service.
Yeah, adulting sucks.
Oh my God. You too. Uh-oh.
You're in for it, Jen.
Funny. Are you from New Jersey?
Yeah, so I was born and raised here in Jersey, actually in the town that I live in now, currently, and also the town that my studio is in. So it's kind of like come full circle.
Yeah.
Kind of neat, Yep, born and raised here. was always an open-minded person, I guess I'd like to say. You know, I respect everybody, you know. Yeah. And then till now, I've just been that person that's always just had a kind of a vision to be my own person. You know, I've always been an artist. I've been an artist since the time I was 3 years old. My parents had put me in private lessons from the time I was 4 till the time I was 18, where I started to teach my art teacher's classes at 15 because I was so highly advanced. Went to college for art for 4 years. Did not want to be a tattoo artist, so that was not in my stars at all. I was no, I actually wanted to be a forensic artist. So I wanted to help people, you know, when they find the bodies and they can't, you know, I wanted to try to bring closure to people. So when I was in college, I was getting ready to extend my degree further into the forensics. And my junior year, I was asked by a local tattoo artist if I would be his illustrator. So a lot of shops back in the time that I started, and you're going back, I'm old school. I started my career in 2000. So I've been tattooing and body piercing for 25 years. I was asked in 2000 to be the illustrator for the studio, so that this way we could bring something new, something more exciting to just flash tattoos where people come in and pick number 5 off the wall. So I
those days
up on that. And so that started my career. I finished college, but I never continued for my forensics because I became one of the leading female tattoo artists in my age, right then. I was in multiple magazines. I had gone to multiple shows. I had won plenty of awards. So I kind of was like, I guess I can kind of make a career out of this. Why not? I liked meeting different people. Do I have any regrets? Sure. Everybody does. Everybody wants to kind of take a different path in life at some career. But you know what? 25 years in, I know what I'm doing to a slight degree.
You could say that.
Just a little bit. And, and then in 2011, I branched out on my own and got my first studio. It was a rental property. And then after being there for about 3 years, I said, you know what, we need a bigger shop. We need something that's if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
So in 2014, I started to look around for a bigger property, found the location that the convent is at now, which is in Deptford, like I said, my hometown. When I first found the property, I noticed, and I read up on the history of it, that it had sat there vacant for about 3.5 years. So I was a little concerned, thinking, man, this is a nice property. Like, why wouldn't somebody snatch it up? Like, I don't know why it's just sitting here. Yeah. So got a realtor, called, went inside. There was no flooring in that place. The walls were beat up. Every single light had been stolen out of the property, I guess for the cop. The place was destroyed.
The copy,
Yeah, but I saw it as an opportunity because it was big. And for some reason, and I know some people, especially in the paranormal, can kind of attest to it. Now, at the time, I didn't know there was anything paranormal. Let's just keep that in mind. When I walked into this property, it just felt like home. Like it was like something was calling me. And I thought to myself, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to try to purchase this building, make it what we need to make it. But it just, something called me and I could not get this building out of my mind. Like I started having dreams about it. I started having, it was really weird. And I've never felt that way about, anything like that before. So I, found some bankers. I said, look, I really want this property. What can we do? It was bank owned and it was foreclosed on. So it was an as-is property. So I was like, wow, that's a big risk, to take a property that we don't know if there's anything wrong with it. Well, finally, when I got the property, first week we were there, we started construction, ripping down some walls, putting up some barriers.
Sure.
And that was honestly when it all started. Like it was wild from the first week that we were in there. So I had always believed in the paranormal. I had always believed in it. I always watched the shows on TV, I had a few experiences when I was younger. I used to have and I'm not psychic or medium. Let's just throw that out there now. But I used to have what I guess you would call psychic dreams, where I would have dreams of things happening to people and they would happen.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. And I used to freak out when I was younger, and I'm talking like nasty stuff that would happen to people, and it would actually happen. I used to freak out thinking, oh my God, like what's wrong with me?
That's a lot.
The older I got, I did grow out of them a little bit. And then I had experiences when I would be out hiking and camping. I would have experiences. I had my first experience at Eastern State because we did an art display for them in my college. So they gave us all tickets. First time I'd ever been to Eastern State. I had a lot of issues when I was there, and I didn't understand it at the time. You know, I was young. I was in my teens. You know, I didn't understand. So when I bought this property, my first thought was just from watching the shows, you know, wow, maybe it's residual, you know, like maybe it's going to calm down. We're knocking down walls. We're tearing shit up. And it didn't. It just kept on going. And that's when I let it. So here's the funny thing. A lot of people don't know this. I let the hauntings go on for about 4 years. Terrified. I almost sold the property.
Wow. 4 years?
4 years, I let it go on. So there's a lot.
That's a long time, Sophia.
That, well, you know, I didn't want to freak people out. Like, here was my baby, right? Like, this was my dream.
Of course. No, and we
my business.
Yeah.
Right.
We justify day by day. We talk we talk ourselves out of it. Exactly.
And
I live with it, right?
I was at the point where it started to drift from the upstairs library, which is always extremely active, to the entire building. Like, they would shut the lights out on me if I was there late. They would, you know, shut off my power unit.
So they're trying to save you electricity. They work. They were helping you.
They were helping.
They say, go home already.
In hindsight, yes.
Yeah, but at the time, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Turning lights out, like, because I could hear somebody walking behind me, and I was like, oh, you know, running out the door, knocking the lights out, not wanting to turn around. I'm like, oh, I'm out of here, you know. Finally, I found
it's like last call. They're flickering lights. You know?
Oh my gosh!
So I
no sympathy.
Right. You know. So I found a team to come out. I met them at a library. They were actually doing a paranormal talk, you know, about their different experiences. They always helped out, you know, local, you know, houses and residential, and they helped out businesses. So I waited for them outside. I looked like a stalker. It was pretty funny. I stalked them after their meeting, and I said, yo, I got to talk to somebody. Like, who's the boss here? Who's the big person? And, you know, I told them what my situation was. And I thought it was really cool at first that they actually sent me like a 500 like question and answer paper, just to make sure that I wasn't a nutcase, you know, that I didn't need to be on meds.
Sorry about that.
No, very nice.
I don't know.
So,
here we go again.
So
are you talking about Frank?
Yes. Oh, you know Frank.
I do.
Yeah. So Frank, he's a godsend. Like, Frank was the first person when he first walked in there. I didn't know it was as active as it was. And the evidence that Frank caught on just the first investigation, he comes up to me within 5 minutes and he goes, you didn't tell me that this place was so active. I said, I didn't know. Like, what do you mean it's this active? Like, I know I'm hearing footsteps. I know I'm hearing whispering. I know I'm seeing shadows. I know the doors are closed and I know the lights are flickering. What do you mean? He goes, we're getting like audible EVPs, you know, like they're talking to us and we're not even starting an investigation. He goes, I had no idea. I said, well, you and I both. So,
wow.
Frank,
really?
First one, we did a cleansing the very first time, just to make sure that if anybody did not want to be there or stay, they were free to leave. But I'll tell you, the next day after that cleansing, that place blew up like a freaking rocket ship. It was, he came in. Oh my God. I thought he left something there because I didn't know. I never dealt with paranormal investigators. I didn't know what they did. He actually came back the next day to check up on me. And I was like, he's like, how you doing? I said, what did you do to my tattoo shop? Like, what the fuck? Like, why is all this shit happening?
Oh, no.
He was standing in the middle of the floor and you're hearing him. It sounds like they're having WrestleMania upstairs.
Wow.
Like, he was like, yeah, he goes, the ones that left. He goes, I believe. He goes, the ones that wanted to stay, they stayed. He goes, now I'm going to teach you how to coexist with them. So Frank was the first person that helped me learn and really kind of got me into the paranormal, where I could understand these spirits and I could understand what my job was at that point. And I truly believe he even said, he goes, I think that they chose you, you know, and I believe that they chose me too. And I think that they were waiting for me to come to that building, even though I didn't know it at the time.
Right.
And I'll tell you, it's been a whirlwind. We have so many spirits there, and that's the thing too. A lot of people don't understand that the building was haunted and the grounds were haunted way before anything was even brought in there. You know, before our tattoo stations were put in there, before our chairs were put in there, before our church pews, before the dolls started to come, before the haunted photos started to come. Like a lot of people, you know, I used to get a lot of like nasty emails and nasty threats, which, you know what, there, you know, because they would say, well, if you didn't have that stuff in there, it wouldn't be haunted. I'm like,
oh no,
stupid as the stupid does, right? So I would say, no, you don't understand. I said, this place was haunted before there was a single fucking floorboard in here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And, you know, it took a while for me to get over that. Like, I didn't want to be judged by people. I didn't want people to think that this was some gimmick. Trust me, I want a haunted tattoo shop. Like, this was not what I set out for. I wanted to be a successful female business owner that does, you know, that hopefully people believe does incredible work. You know, I'm a body piercer as well. I believe in customer service, you know, above all else. We try to make people happy. And now we have all the ghosts to help us. So it was very hard for me the first couple of years where I didn't know how to handle it. Like I didn't. Frank kept coming back with his team. They helped me kind of figure some of the ghosts out. And
I didn't hear Frank who, because I went out.
That's okay.
Frank from
NJ Rope. You know Frank?
Okay.
Yep.
No,
I got to investigate with him once and speak to him. He came to our theater, the Ritz Theater.
Yeah.
To investigate with his team. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I investigated with him, gosh, at the Gabriel Davis house.
Yes, he does Gabriel Davis all the time.
Yeah. He's so professional. And you know what, as much as you walked into a place that you were meant to be, I think that he probably was meant to be with you as well to guide you because of all people.
I believe so too, because he was very caring,
he's so
professional, explained a lot to me. You know, and what I liked about them was I was so afraid that I was going to have a group come in there and fake stuff. You know, I was already terrified. Wow. I'll be honest. At the time, I was terrified. Now I've become like the leading expert in haunted objects, which is kind of funny because I never expected that to happen. But now our ghosts and our spirits and our entities that are there, whether they're negative or positive, we treat them like family, and we have literally a bond that I've never seen other investigators have with certain spirits. Like, and a lot of investigators that come in, they said, I can't believe your spirits and you have this connection. Like you guys are like, you know, tied at the hip. And I said, I know, but I said, that's what Frank taught me, you know, like I always in the morning, like when I'm walking through and I'm in there in the morning by myself, it's nice and quiet before my customers get there and before the staff gets there. And, you know, I sit there and I'm like, good morning, guys. You know, if it's a rainy day, I'm like, oh my God, guys, can we get any more rain? What is going on? So I talk to them as if they are all sitting there, you know, as people, as you would. And I think that really helps a lot. At nighttime when I'm leaving, like if I'm sweeping the floors, I'm talking to them. I'm like, oh my God, guys, what a crazy day, huh? You know, or whatever happened. You know, if anybody wants to pick up a broom and help, I would love to help. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Joke with them, you know.
And do you call them by name, Sophia?
The names?
Do you call them by names? Like good morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I watched your thing and you have a name for every one of them.
If
so cool.
If they came with a name or if they came with a description or if the person who was going to send it to me sent me an email and said, look, I've been working with this spirit for years. Or my family member had this spirit. This is what they called them. I like to respect them, even if it's not their actual name, if that's what they came with, or that's what they've always been called. You know, like I said, it's a respect thing, but I always tend to want to talk to the house spirits first before I talk to any of the objects, because the house spirits are the ones that are there. They've been there. You know, that's their home. That's not my place. Like I always laugh and say, I don't own it. They do. And,
you know, rent it from them.
Right. I just pay rent. You know, I rent it from the ghosts.
That's
but
funny.
I do.
But
yeah, but
what you're doing with making them, accepting them through the years, all the parents, because I've been doing it a long time. So something always follows me home once in a while here and there. I don't care what you protect yourself with. You're gonna have a straggler coming in. Or I live in a big cooperative here, and it's like 6 floors, and it's a big building. So people die here, and I see people in the hallway all the time and downstairs, whatever. And they do come in here. So a couple of times they come in, I'm like, and I see them because where my TV is, I got like a little hallway that goes back to the bedrooms. So I'm like, come on in, sit down and join me. You know?
Like,
and a couple of times I did feel the couch go down a little bit, but they don't seem to say. They don't seem to say. And they don't bother me or my wife, because my wife sometimes, and my wife never seen nothing until she started, with me. And, when things come home with me, she sees them. I think that's a perfect way. You just welcome as family.
We do. Some of my spirits, like you said, a lot of people, they're afraid that something's going to follow them home. I said, something can follow you home from Walmart, for God's sakes. Like, come on, and they fear it. And we did, we lost a lot of business at first when the hauntings actually went, viral and they kind of got public. I have lost tattoo artists in the past because of the hauntings.
Really?
Yeah. And it's, anybody who comes to work there, they just have to understand that their family, we work with them. You will see things, you will hear things, you will be touched. You will, they have to understand that as long as they're cool with it, the spirits will be cool with them. And it is hard sometimes because once the customer started to see it, that's when I had to make a choice to find a group to come in to help me, because I couldn't keep lying to the customers about, oh no, that was the bus went by. You saw a shadow.
Yeah.
It looked like a person.
Squirrels upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
These tough guys are getting tats and they're afraid of a ghost.
Right.
Hey, give me a tat. Oh, wait a minute. That's Casper over there. I'm out of here.
I draw the line at needles are fine. I draw the line at ghosts. Yeah. No, but there's so much stigma. I agree with you. I mean, even now, like when I tell people, okay, I'm going on an investigation, like, what do you do? It's like, some people are open to it. Some people are like, yeah, oh my gosh, and let me tell you about my experience. And some people are like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Those are
or I don't believe in that. Okay, kind of thing. It's
kind of funny you said that, because I had a few people that were very standoffish at the show we were just at on Saturday, and they wouldn't come like 8 foot from the table. And I'm going, oh, come on over. Like, you want to meet some of our friends? And they just kind of looked at me and shook their hands and walked away. I had two different guys that say, oh, ghosts aren't real. I said, so why are you here? If you're at a paranormal conference, right? Like, why are you here? Are you are you just, somebody that's here to like bust balls? Are you, and he's like, oh no, I believe in Bigfoot.
But ghosts, nah.
You believe in Bigfoot, but you don't believe in the paranormal? Like, I was just like,
but people, dead people, nah.
I don't understand that, because I don't know how you feel. I feel that the spirits and any of the cryptics and the UFOs and aliens, I think they go in a triangle, and I think some of them have something to do with each other. I mean, that's, I don't know how you feel, because I have people coming over to me. They're looking. I have 2 pictures I drew because I seen creatures on some different investigations, and they came over. They didn't look at the ghost. They just looked. I put them on top because I had a feeling that was going to happen. And they'll walk by and they're like, oh, that looks like a Bigfoot. Oh, that looks like, and because there's 2 creatures I actually seen on 2 different investigations. So they were more interested in that than the ghost. So each their own, but.
Hey, yeah, exactly. To each his own.
Do you believe in that?
But that's funny. I've never heard of anybody who was like into Bigfoot but afraid of ghosts, or into.
Neither have I. That was a first for me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Mothman. Yes. Casper.
Go into the woods with this creature that could be 8 feet to 10 feet tall, that could rip you from limb to limb. Okay, but you're gonna be scared of a ghost? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'd be one of those fools that would go in the woods anyway. So
we don't judge on this show.
But so,
whatever.
I mean, when did you start with the? Well, first I want to. What was your first tat?
That I did, or that's on me?
That's on you. You got more than I got.
So I've lost count at this point, right? So My first
time. I'm starting at the first.
I went to a local shop. I was 16. I snuck in. They didn't card. I knew that. And I got a sun right here on my arm. So right here on the front. I was a rebel. 16, I'm getting a tattoo on my arm. You know, I'm gonna piss everybody off. And I did. I got the tattoo on my arm. I never thought that I would look the way I do today. But you know what makes me I'm comfortable in my own skin. You know, I love them. I'm a tattoo artist. You know, if I'm not tattooed, it's kind of like going to a skinny chef's restaurant, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely. And you're an artist, has to create art, has to have art everywhere and on your body. Why not?
Exactly.
Definitely. I married an art major, and I am a scientist, so it's like a very, very different thing for me. But I learned, like, you know, you need it, you crave it,
you do,
you have to live it.
Yeah,
it's part of you.
It is part of you.
Yeah, I mean, I have no objections. I like tats.
You get to wear it.
Well, I haven't had so many tats because came from a poor family, so it's I got mine later in life. I got that, my Betty Boop, and
I love that.
Well, this one here. So everything's reversed here. You know, I love my family in Italian.
Right, so we can read it. Right, that would be my first mistake. I would write it backwards.
So,
oops.
So with the shop, I know. Well, you want me to start showing some pictures, and you could start explaining them.
Where did the name come from, Sophia?
Oh yeah,
So we used to be under a different name, and then you know, life happens, and then you decide to take your life on a different path. You know, healing journeys and whatnot. And so the convent came about because I wanted someplace that was a sanctuary for myself as an artist, for the people that work in that studio, and for the spirits. You know, I felt that, you know, and plus too, you know, I had gone through so many different names, you know, heaven and hell, but there's so many tattoo shops out there today that were named. Everything I was coming up with, I wanted to call it the sanctuary. There's already a tattoo shop.
Oh, nice.
You know, there's multiple places named, you know. So I said, what's something that I have not seen or found? And I was like, well, we're kind of like a convent. And we always I love religious art. I'm not religious by any means. I have no problem with religion. You know, I think it's beautiful. The paintings and I love churches. I love old churches.
Oh, gorgeous.
I'm sitting there for
days. The architect, I love that
the
stuff.
The architecture is what I just fell in love with. You know, the sculptures, the colors. But, you know, so we had a lot of crosses in there, a lot of rosaries in there, just because I think they're just beautiful. You know, people, they come in there, oh, you must be super religious. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just think it's beautiful. And, you know, wars are the basis of religion. So I was kind of like at the time having a war in my mind. You know, I was going through a lot of, you know, stuff was happening in my life. And I thought, you know what, I can't in good faith, like just do something that's the normal. I have to be, you know, off the cuff a little bit. So I thought to myself, I'd say, it's funny because before we thought of the name, I was sitting here watching a show and these nuns walked out of this nunnery. And I was like, oh man, that's a beautiful convent. And right then I was like, holy shit, the convent. Like that's awesome. Because, you know, a lot of people associate convents with just nuns, but it's not. Convents were places for saving people. They were places for people to find shelter, to seek asylum. So a convent isn't just nuns, but we kind of went with that because we were like, kind of funny. We're an all-female shop as of right now. And I thought, you know what, why not the convent? And it's cool because if you look at our C, we did devil horns and a devil's tail. And the T on the back ends of the logo is actually a cross.
I'm going to put that's the one I have on here.
Let's see it.
So a lot of people don't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I see the tail. That's cool.
Yeah. The T is amazing.
Isn't that beautiful? So that's one of our logos for our hats and stuff like that.
Yes.
We wanted something that was kind of very gothic but yet very kind of neo-gothic kind of a font. So we designed it. And then, you know, like I said, it's just a perfect title for a perfect tattoo shop. We are the convent. And
I just want to plug anybody out there wants some tattoos. and you're in Jersey, South Jersey, or anything, or just want to go, I seen some of her art, and it's amazing. I think you should give this number a call if you want to get some ink.
Oh yeah, well, let's
Yeah.
write it down.
Come on down, yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the chat so people can keep it there
Yeah,
too.
so just go down there, and like I said, I've seen some of the ink she did, and it's amazing. So check it out.
Thank you.
So selfish plug.
Yeah. No, definitely. And we have somebody here in the chat saying, I want to get a tattoo there. I think you're going to have a lot of new customers.
Yeah, well, I think I want to get down there.
You know, we welcome everybody, you know, especially the ghosts. You know, it's one of those things. Nobody's not.
He's in Texas, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, go to South Jersey. Go to Jersey. Should get your tattoo ready there.
I got a few friends from Texas and out of Texas, so.
And then we got Miami coming.
Oh, I've been telling them they got to get their butts down here.
They
gotta come. Like, come on, let's have fun.
Are you going to be at Gettysburg?
No, I'm not. It's hard for me to get away from the shop, you know, because considering the studio, weekends are our heaviest times.
Okay, yeah, I don't understand.
And it's hard because I kind of, other than my girls, like I'm a one-man show, you know. I'm the boss, I'm the owner, I'm the artist, I'm the piercer, I'm the manager, you know. I kind of do everything. I'm the cleaning lady, you know. So it's kind of hard. And plus, I got a dog, Mr. Bruce Wayne. He's my little fat pit bull. He's a great guy. So it's kind of hard to find a babysitter for him. And so. Yeah, I try to stay local when I can, just for right now. Yeah,
no, I'm asking that because 305, they're going to be at Gettysburg with us.
I know, I miss them. I've been wanting to get to Gettysburg. I just got to take the time. Maybe next year, take the time. And because right now I'm trying to rebuild the shop, and we just opened up our museum in the basement. So I'm trying to. Okay. Yeah, it required a lot.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. I mean. So much to talk about.
I'm going to show you what the building looks like. Yeah. And that's what we're talking about.
3,400 square foot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got the upstairs, it's got the middle floor, and then now it has the basement.
Wow. Yeah, that looks nice.
3-story building.
I got to get down there to investigate and maybe get some ink. A little bit of both. Yeah. So you have a lot of stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
And everything has music. So I really can't play anybody else's music. And you have really cool music. I like all that stuff. Danzig and everything, like, whoa, this is cool. And brought back the old days when I used to play.
Yeah.
But you got a couple cool dolls here.
Mute it out. Yeah, it's a shame you can't mute it out.
Yeah, so what I did is I took snapshots on my phone, and then I had transferred 15 different places just to get them here. So here, I'll show the first one. I don't know if you have any special order. I'm just going to show them because you don't know what I took. Sure. And this one is one of my favorites. I think I mentioned it to you before. Here we go. And what on this one is, I seen this one with the light. The light goes on. And it was pretty cool how you said, I'll put it up there.
Steven.
His name is Steven. I love this one. It's, na, 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 na.
It's so cute.
It is, and you asked a question on this one. If you hear, put on the the K2, and you picked out the different objects that you had there that lit up, and then you said, or the flash. So you said no. I'm sorry. You said, can you turn on the flashlight? And the flashlight turned on. No, nothing else came on. So you want to? Did I just give your story away?
No, you're fine. No, our spirits, when we work with them, when they come in, and if anybody wants to, not that it's a plug, but if anybody wants to see any of the videos that Anthony is talking about. If you, besides we have our convent Instagram page and our Facebook, but we also have, all of the artists have their separate Instagrams. Like I'm Sophie_convent. That's for all of my tattoos. But if you want to see where we keep all of our, dirty, little secrets of the studio, you can find all of the different objects, that parts of the shop, different things, orbs, basically everything that happens that we can capture working with the dolls that come in at Satans_riot. So like Satan himself with an S, Satans_riot. And that's where we keep all of our, really cool videos, like where Anthony pulled Steven from. That's actually a video. So he, as you heard him, he took a screenshot. But you can see the intelligence of our spirits. I would say 98% of our studio is intelligent hauntings, and the other two residual. And I can firmly confirm that only because we worked with them. Like I've been working with them now since 2014. And, especially the haunted objects. And now, like I said, I mean, I've got a technique that I use, which I kind of just be myself, like you catch more flies with honey. Be yourself.
For sure.
I don't get up in their face and say, are there any spirits that want to communicate? Duh, they're fucking spirits there, of course. Like, but I get down on their level, and I talk about myself. Sometimes I go in and if I'm having a rough time or, if I'm lonely, I go in and I talk to them, and I talk to them as if they were somebody standing there. And I think that they get it. And I think that that's what makes them so active, because I think I'm getting down on their level, and they might be feeling the loneliness too. They might be feeling, that they need somebody to talk to. They might be having an off day.
It's called humanity.
Exactly. And a lot of, I see it, it's really disheartening. I see a lot of investigators. There's some that are amazing. Like I've been lucky with the people like Chris, and they're very compassionate, Ryan, they're very compassionate. And, there's some though that I used to watch TV, or I watch some of the YouTubes just to see, or if I get, I'm not going to go through the names, but I get a lot of emails that are like, hey, I want to come to your shop and investigate. I always, before I even email them back, will look at their content to see how they react to spirits, because I tell them, I said, this is my family. You are not going to come in here and disrespect them. You are not going to come in there and push them around, because they have full carte blanche to kick your ass. And I don't care. Some people are like, oh, you got to give spirits rules. They have rules. We have mutual respect. They know what their job is. I know what my job is. And, I think sometimes it's really disheartening that some people they just want to find the ghost or have something fly off a wall, or, oh my God, chair just, came flying at me.
Yes, right.
And it's like, that's not what a real investigation is.
No, it's about a connection, not your experience.
Yeah.
It's not just to go and experience something, it's to connect to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't disrespect. You get more when you go in and you act, positive, and hello. And then when you leave, say thank you, thank you for anything you gave us. Thank you. Good night. Show respect. I grew up, like Jenny knows, I grew up around graveyards. I had 9 graveyards around us. So I used to go in there by myself, but I never disrespected graves. I never stood on top of a grave. I never put my equipment on top of a tombstone. Okay? And, people don't understand that. That's kind of like disrespectful to do stuff like that. You stand next to the grave with a recorder, okay. Well, if you want a videotape or something like that, you show respect. But it took me a long time to do that too. It took me a lot of hit and misses. So a lot of these new groups have to, they still got to learn.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. And Anthony always says that. He's known for saying that you get more communication if you're like that. Anthony always says that.
You got a lot better communication, because you're going to give them an argument and stuff like that. They're going to, you're going to get just that particular, that person fighting you back. But if you go in there nicely, you might get other people and other spirits coming in and stuff like that, especially children. Children with negativity usually don't communicate with you. It takes.
It's amazing though.
Yeah, I know mine don't. Like I walk in there and, we even have, people think I'm crazy, but I have pizza parties for them. We have cupcakes. We have birthdays.
I love it.
Somebody's got a birthday, we bring in a little
awesome.
candles and, we sit around with them. We sit on the floor and we're like, come on guys, we'll put a slice of pizza out for them, come on over, hang out with us. And
you got to invite my girls.
Yeah, so they can come to the party. There's plenty of other kids. But we'll sit around sometimes and throw equipment just around us. And we're not having an investigation. We're just talking amongst ourselves, having pizza. And guess what?
I love it.
It starts going off. How about that?
And exactly.
Yeah. It's just
I love it.
Heartening experience. It's very.
I think that sounds cool. I think a cannoli party might be in.
Ooh,
yeah, cannolis.
Yes.
So you're new to the show, so you should know that we have a drinking game. Every time we say cannoli on the show, you got to drink.
Yeah, we got to drink.
All right, that'll work.
No, there may or may not be vodka in there. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we have a drinking game. We have our own drinking. After 35 episodes, we have a drinking game.
Love it.
Yeah,
Anthony
cannoli's used on this show a lot. Even in the audience, people always mentioning cannolis, and I go on investigations, and the people bring me cannolis. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
gotta feed the beast, like you said.
Todd and Camilla, they bring me cannolis every time, and I was like, you don't have to. No, it's okay.
They're so generous. Everybody's so generous.
If you're gonna feed me, I said the beast is not gonna stop.
Yeah.
The beast. But I got a couple more pictures here. I'm going to show this one. This one I thought had an interesting story. You might want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But this is also, when I put this picture on, what happened was, when I put the pictures on in my studio, I label them different, what I think it might be, and different names and this and that. But this one doll with the interesting story behind it, every time I try to label it, give it, label it so I know what it is, it kept on coming up error. Only one. And I'm like, it's coming from your shop there to stop me from giving it a name. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put it on. And like I said, this one had an interesting story like on the Instagram. So if you want to repeat that story, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
So I was in the middle of a tattoo. Okay. My one customer who has been a customer of mine for 20 years, him and I were just chilling. I was working on his sleeve, and this guy walks in, and he kind of was this older gentleman. He didn't really seem like he was in the market for a tattoo. So I stopped my tattoo for a minute. I threw my gloves off. I run up front, and I'm like, hey, what can I do for you? And he goes, are you the haunted place? I was like, yeah. And he goes, good. He goes, I need to give you something. If not, I'm throwing it out on 42. Now, 42 is a highway right near us. Mm-hmm. And that I got to get rid of these. My wife and I ain't ever fought in 45 years, and we've been fighting nonstop since they've been with me. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Who are we talking about? What are we talking about? Because he didn't have him with him at the time. And he goes, oh, I got it. You hold on. And I was like, woo. So my customer's up front, and him and I are standing there looking at each other like, what are we getting into? Like, oh my God.
How are we going to bring?
Yeah. Like, I was like, oh my God. So this guy comes walking in with him, and he's got him by the neck. And he goes, here. He just threw him at me. And I went, okay.
You threw him?
Yes. Like chucked him. I had to catch him because he almost
catch.
And I went,
oh, wow.
Who do we have here? This is how I said, who do we have here? He goes, I don't know. You tell me. I know it's got something. And I said, okay, sir. I said, why do you think it has an attachment? Why do you think it's haunted? And, he was like, well, besides me and my wife fighting, it was my grandfather's. My brother had it for years. My brother always said there's something wrong with that doll. He goes, since I've had it, I've had it move. He goes, I put it on my rocking chair. He goes, the damn thing's facing one way, then it's facing the other. I said to my wife, did you move it? She goes, I haven't touched it. He goes, I have no animals. I have no grandkids. He goes, why is it moving? And I said, okay, maybe it just fell. I always debunk everything, as an investigator. I debunk everything. So I don't automatically think something's haunted. So I was like, all right. I said, what do you want me to do? He goes, take the damn thing. I'm like, okay, fine. And I said, do you want me to call you if I find? He goes, no, I want nothing to do with it. This is the last time you'll see me. I said, okay.
So he drove away.
I put like he got out of the parking lot, and I was like, what the hell? So my
I'm out of here.
Hysterical laughing. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. Like, I don't know if this is
really.
I don't know.
You're like, hi.
Yeah, and so I said, yeah, hello, sir. I picked him up. I said, hello, sir. I said, I'm Sophie. It's nice to meet you. I said, if you are spirited, you're going to have lots of friends here. I said, so right now, I know that was a little bit disheartening. So I'm going to put you here. I'm going to give you this little light. And I always show them how to work the lights. And I always try to give them, like, if I have an offering, a piece of candy, I'm like, here, this is for you. If you like sweets, I don't know you. I don't even know if you're in there. I said, here you go. I said, we're going to have fun. I said, if you can please turn this light on for me, we'll have a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Back to tattooing. I came up front, light wasn't on. It doesn't matter. I've had spirits that people have sent me, and they took 6 months to sometimes a year to show any activity. Where I was like, yeah, everything is definitely haunted. They don't even set off a K2. They don't set off anything. And they wound up being haunted, So, I always give a spirit, many days to settle in, just kind of. But my first test is usually with, a bullet light or a balloon light. And, if they can set that off a few times, I kind of start to suspect that, okay, there probably is an attachment of some sort. So went back to tattoo and came back up. When I came back up, his light was on. And I said, okay, so, but it's very hard in the studio because we have so many, when I tell you there's hundreds of spirits in that shop, that's why we are America's Most Haunted, because unlike other locations, we are a working business every single day with these guys. And, you will get so many different personalities as investigators when you come in, even on a quiet night. Even Frank will tell you, even on a quiet night, you'll get a ton of shit. Like it's wild. There's never been an investigator that's ever come in here that's not left with something, which is cool. Wow. So anyway, I
hundreds, you said hundreds.
Oh yeah, there's hundreds. Like there's a lady that I see popping up on here, Seashell Blessing. She's actually one of my best friends. She's also a medium. She's also a home dog collector and dealer. She can do it. She comes in and works with some of my harder ones to work with that really don't want to open up. And she's gotten some incredible evidence. Like along Satan's Riot, you'll see where I gave her, shout outs. Like, thank you, Heather. There, I saw you.
Yeah, she's there. I've seen her before. She said she got some ink from you.
Incredible. But she'll tell you there are hundreds of spirits in that building.
And so she's a medium.
You ever seen the show Ghost?
Of course.
Imagine if you were that woman.
Yes.
You would see 100 all day long talking to you.
That would be Goldberg at your shop. Can you imagine?
Like we should have fashioned that show after my studio. Like we should have a reality show. We really should. The shop is so funny because besides all the personalities of all the clients coming in, and besides personalities of us artists and the stories that we have on a daily, not just about ghosts, about anything, and then you're mixing the ghosts. It's funny as hell. Like it's never a dull moment in that studio, and I don't think that there's any other studio in the world that can say that. And there's some. Yeah, there's not. Like we have a certain thing that just happened to fall into our laps. It was, I don't know if it was luck, if it was fate, if it was the gods, raining down or hell himself coming up. I don't know. But, there's a reason that we were put in this spot. And I think it was to protect these spirits. And I think it was also to give them a warm and safe environment for them to be themselves. And our spirits, we do not bless the place. We do not cleanse the place anymore. After Frank cleansed it that very first time, we've never done it again. And I don't believe in it. And I don't allow it. We don't allow praying in there. I let them be them. They know what they can and cannot do. They know with the customers. They know which customers they can mess with. They know which ones are too afraid. So they back off. They're very respectful in that manner. And, that's why, the intelligence there it's unbound. It's just the craziest stuff.
Yeah, thank goodness. That you can speak to them, right? Thank goodness, because you couldn't have 100 ghosts that were just out of control.
Absolutely, and thank God for that too.
Is there a learning curve with them? Did you ever have some that were a little bit outrageous at first that you needed to sort of?
Yeah. So when we first started to have the issues, like we did have a lot of objects that would fly off the walls. you know, and that was when I started to call Frank in because I didn't want somebody to get hurt.
Yeah,
that was my fear, because it's not just me in there. I have clients in there. Like I have other,
it's your business.
I have people, my coworkers. Like I'm like, I can't have them get hurt. And one time, one of the I have a will work for cupcakes because you know I love cupcakes. We all love cupcakes. You know, a lot of our customers bring cupcakes, and which is super sweet. And we have a will work for cupcakes, and it's a cupcake picture hanging on the one wall. And my old one of my old guys that used to work with me, I love that kid, man. He was awesome. He left because of the hauntings. Like he had really long dreads, and they would tug on his dreads. they would torment him, but like in a funny way. And I kept like, look, like just tell them, please don't do that to me, guys. Like we used to use the buddy system to go upstairs to get like supplies. He's like, you got to come with me. I'm like, okay. But I think the last straw was I was at my station tattooing. His station was catty corner to me at the time. And all of a sudden we heard something like moving, and I stopped tattooing for him, and he stopped. He's like, what the hell is that? I was like, I don't know. It sounded like scratching or like something coming off a wall. And we're looking, and all of a sudden we see that picture kind of shifting a little bit. And I thought, oh, maybe the nail's coming out of the wall. Like maybe there's a vibrational truck. See, I'm always trying to debunk everything. The next thing you know, and I wish I had cameras in the building at the time, you see this picture lift up off the hook, levitate for a few seconds, and then shoot across the room.
What?
Oh, wow.
It was the wildest shit. And he was like, I'm done. Wow. I was like, calm down. I said, calm down. All right. I was kind of freaked out myself because I had never seen it in person like that. Yeah. Oh shit. I'm like, okay. So I said, okay. I said, listen, and I went over, I picked it up, and this is before Frank had ever come in. And I said, that really wasn't nice. I really don't want you to do that. Cause I was freaking out internally. I was scared shitless.
Right.
I don't
it was almost good somebody was there with you because you had to be the one in charge.
Right. So I put it back on the wall. And then a couple weeks later, we would come in, and we have rolly chairs, you know, we're tattoo artists. They would be in the middle of the floor, like all bunched in the middle of the floor. And and that's when I started realizing, oh shit, do I have like a poltergeist? Like what the hell? Like this wasn't happening before, or if it was, I wasn't seeing it. Sometimes I would come in and my appointments would be strewn all over the back floor. Like, like somebody just took the papers and just flung them. I would find pencils all over the floor in the tattoo area, rulers we would find. And like I said, that's when I started to put the cameras in, because I was like, whoa, like this is getting to be too much. And that's when we started getting, a lot of the customers started getting their hair pulled and their clothing tugged. And they were seeing things. Like a few people got their feet tickled, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, okay, I don't think that's a mean ghost, but they're having fun tickling your feet. We also had a bunch of the male customers, when they would be in a certain lay down position, if their wallets were in their back pockets, they said it felt like somebody was trying to pickpocket them and take their wallet.
Pickpocket.
And really? I thought, okay, well, maybe we have a prankster. Like maybe there is a poltergeist, or is it the same spirit? And that's why when I called Frank, I thought we were only dealing with one spirit, maybe two. I didn't know there was so. And it kind of is funny because the way that everything's kind of come to today, like there were times where I would put something new up and it would be across the floor. And finally I was like, I need to do something about this. So I started looking stuff up online, like how to deal with a poltergeist. You know, what do I do? Are they intelligent? Are they not intelligent? You know, how the hell am I going to handle this? Because I was starting to get things in the studio that are irreplaceable. You know, like we have 8 real human skeletons. We have 8, you know, a ton of skulls. We have taxidermy everywhere. So I was afraid that they were going to start breaking that. And I was like, you guys can't break shit, please. Like you can't. And I said, you know what I did? Funniest thing. I said, look, I'll make you a deal. If you need to move an object, I'm going to give you objects to move. Here are balls. Here's paper for you, not my appointments, but here's plain old paper. I said, here are pencils. I said, feel free to slam the doors. I said, you can slam the damn doors. You know, I said, go ahead. Don't you know they started doing that?
Yeah.
Our bathroom doors started to slam shut. You know, our piercing room door started to slam shut. And I was like, okay, they listened. Like, and it was kind of like a weird little excitement, like a little kid, like, whoo, they listened to me. You know, it's like training like a puppy, you know? But then okay, they're kind of not fucking with the stuff that I asked them not to. because I would say, like, look, like these objects that you were hurting, I said, they are irreplaceable, just like you. I said,
yes,
buddy, please don't break other vessels. Please don't break this. I will give you the objects. And that's when I started to buy so many paranormal toys, because I thought, well, maybe this will help keep them occupied. And it actually did.
Oh, that's how you got involved in that. That was my next question.
Yeah,
okay.
that's how I got involved, because I didn't know what else to do. So I started thinking rationally, like, okay, what would a living person do with, say, like,
Yes.
an animal or their own child? Now, I don't have children, but I started thinking, like, how would a parent teach a child not to do something, or what would they give them in place of something else?
Yeah.
And I started to read all these psychology books and stuff. It was crazy.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. And I was like, wow, okay, so if you can put this with a human, why can't you put this with a spirit, if most of them were humans at one point?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it made sense. Like the kids, I would give them little toy trucks or little toy cars or little action figures. And I would find them fallen, or I would find them moved in the mornings. And I was like, oh, okay. Like they're getting the hang of this. Like, I'm giving them something to do. I'm giving them a purpose. Here's a toy for you. It's like having a kid. Here's a toy. Go play. Be quiet. You know what I mean? And
There
just
you go. Yeah, you're redirecting them. Yeah, yeah, keeping them busy.
Was the best thing, and we still have, like I said, we still have the poltergeist activity. I don't think that'll ever go away. But every now and then it's kind of funny, if we have a customer, they'll mess with a doorknob. They do lock our front door.
Oh, like, nope, you're not coming in. Sorry.
They like soap dispensers, which is pretty funny. It freaks a lot of people out.
Yeah, I don't think I want my feet tickled when I'm getting a tattoo. Yeah. Like, I'm like,
yeah, I know. You start laughing. It's like, wind up the arm. I seen this $1 that you got. I'm gonna put it on. I think Douglas doll. I'll show you. It's from Italy.
Oh yeah. So he was sent to me, and this one woman who sends me these guys, she's actually an antiques dealer, so she does not deal with the paranormal. She's like, I don't not believe in it, but I don't want to deal with it. I don't want anything paranormal, and she goes, and I do get things from like auction houses and stuff that I don't know until I bring it home to try to, resell. So many times she'll contact me and say, yo, I got something for you. I'm sending it. I don't know anything about it. This is just what the last person told me. So it's kind of up to me to figure out what they're about. And honestly, most of the ones that she has sent are negatives. They do wind up being negatives. But it's okay. Yeah, because it's kind of funny. Over in Europe, their spirits are different than our spirits here in America. It's really wild. And if any investigators out there that have ever worked with, even either traveled to different countries or worked with, different genres of haunted artifacts and objects, they are different. I don't know if it's a language barrier. I don't know if it's their upbringing, because America, we're kind of the land of the free, the brave. Over in different countries, it's something completely different. So they don't interact and understand the way that we do. They do their own thing, and it's really quite fascinating. And it's kind of a study that I'm doing right now as to when I have the spirits from overseas versus the ones that were always down home objects.
That might be deported. ICE is going to come in and probably take them out of here.
Well,
I know. You had to go there. Go there.
I'm sorry.
Well, you know what?
I'm from Europe, so I'm curious what you mean by different. How they're different?
Yeah, so it's things that they do and how they interact, I think, is the best way. So sometimes any of my European spirits are a little bit more reserved.
Hey, forget about it. Hey,
they're a little reserved. I found them.
Not the Italian ones.
Not the Italian ones. I have them from the UK, from Europe. They're reserved, and it's funny because even their wording, like when I'm getting things through different boxes, their wording is different. So sometimes I have to look up, like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know what that means here. and I'll realize it means something totally different. You know what I'm saying? From being from, and it's kind of interesting to me because, you know, sometimes they don't interact with each other. You know, like people ask me, do your spirits get along? Well, for the most part, they do. But it's just like, you know what I mean? You can be in a room with 10 people and hate 10 of them. You know what I mean? Other than yourself. You know, it's a varying complexity of different emotions, different personalities, different ages,
and cultures that we don't think about here. You know, exactly. Like maybe you're not. You know, we're not saying like, you know, Americans are like, I don't know you, but hey, what's up, bro? You know, kind of thing. Like, what's going on, whatever. Whereas, like, you know, another like UK, you might not be like that. You might just be like,
absolutely. That's what I mean. It's a different culture, you know. So some of them are a little bit more reserved. Like I have one spirit that is from Germany. Okay, well, I have multiple from Germany, but I have one particular that not a nice man, you know, very stern. And you know, when I try to work with him with another spirit to kind of like balance them out a little bit, I mean, that other spirit shuts down, will not deal with him, and you won't get anything. And she's a very, very strong spirit. She's always talkative. It's like she's like with you, you know, and she wants nothing to do with it.
That's so you're doing an experiment. I'm not German, by the way. So
why I brought this all up, because why I thought it was interesting, because I took different parts of that video and you got this with it.
Yes. So
this is she'll
write me. This is the stuff that she will write me. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. Like, I guess I'll be working with this one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
he's a nasty boy.
He's a nasty boy. He's nasty.
I thought that was so cool. You get notes with him.
Nasty boy.
And that's the funny thing. He's not a boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a boy. I think from what I've been able to gather from him so far, he's probably in his late 30s, early 40s. And he's quite the pervert.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. You know, I don't want to get you guys kicked off air, but he said some really raunchy stuff. And for me, I don't get offended. I love it. You know, I think it's funny. It's kind of
it's funny.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, bring it on, buddy. But yeah, he loves to be that way in nature.
Yes.
You know.
Okay.
Bring him cannoli, he'd be fine. Drink him.
I need to go home and get a shower after working with him. You know what I mean?
You feel nasty.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Nasty being the key word. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a song. It is song 90s, song 80, whatever. 80s song, 90s song night.
Yes.
Now that song's in my head. Thank you, Raul.
So here, here's another one. I think you had him on this one. Well, you had him.
The
notes just crack me up. Good luck with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, Damien.
Damien. Yeah, he's something. He you know, it's funny when you work with him, it gets so hot around him. It feels like he's going to catch on fire. Like, it's the weirdest thing. And you know, he's very stubborn to work with. Many times he's like, yeah, nope, you know, and he shuts down a lot. I think the only reason is because he's with bigger boys, if you know what I mean. I think that he was something in the home that sent him to me, but he's kind of, I guess, kept down, you know, kind of locked down a little bit from the other guy, much stronger than him. So now he's just kind of like, yeah, you know, I don't want to talk to you. Go away, you know. But he I think he got kind of knocked back into his place.
Right. There's got to be a hierarchy at your shop.
Let me tell you something. There's absolutely a hierarchy. And the cool thing is that every floor of our shop is different. You have different entities. You have different experiences. You have different temperatures, which is really crazy, you know. And any investigator that's been there can tell you. And it's almost like the layers of an onion. You never know what you're going to get. And it's really cool because I don't think many places can say that. Like, you might walk a prison and one room is heavy or cold, but no, our layers are so unique. You know, if you want to talk to the more friendlier spirits, to more of the resident spirits, you stay on the main floor, which is the tattoo room, the piercing room. If you want the heavy hitters, you go upstairs. If you want the negatives now, you go in the basement, along with a few positives that are resident spirits that have stayed there, that are actually some females. Because I had Heather come in and ask her before we actually made the basement what it is. I said, look, can you try to talk to them? I don't want the ladies down here to feel like we're pushing them out. I don't want them to feel like oppressed by all the negative energies. Yeah. And she basically was talking, and she goes, nope, they got this. So they're more than happy. So you might get them, Gail and Lisa, they're two. Bertha is another one. You know, they got this, you know, and it's kind of nice because, like I said, I don't like my spirits to feel like they're being outed in any way. I don't like them to feel that, wow, she just didn't care about me and she just put this nasty son of a bitch next to me, and I don't want to do with that, you know. And that's the one thing, that's the hard part about our studio, is when we get so many objects in, figuring out what they exactly are, figuring out how dark or how light they're going to be. Can they get along with each other? And, you know, that's what makes it so unique and so fun. Like, I could have investigators in there for forever, you know, till the day I die, because I'm haunting that fucking place. That's for sure. But
it'll be 101.
I'm going to be the biggest spirit there. I'm going to make sure I can move every object known to man. You know, I know how all the equipment works, you know, at that point.
I could just see you walking in.
Absolutely.
Like, the door opening.
Yeah.
I'm
the
back.
queen is here.
So
taking over this.
I love it.
You know, we always try to make sure that everybody's happy, that everybody has things that they need. You know, sometimes I'll even walk up to the different rooms and just sit down, you know, in between tattoo appointments, you know, at the end of the day, in the mornings, if I'm slower, you know, and I'll sit there and be like, how's everybody doing today? Good. Does anybody need anything? Is everybody happy? You know, how have you guys been? Like, oh, have you been seeing what's going on? You know, and we sit and talk. And sometimes I'll put equipment out and sometimes I won't. You know, I don't even want to get a response back. I just want them to know and listen to me and know that, you know, they are loved and they are accepted. And, you know, I think that, like I said, that gets them going every single time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a huge hostel.
Yeah. Yes.
For spirits.
It is.
That's awesome. You were showing
family
me.
You have.
It is a huge family.
You were showing me at the show this weekend this guy, and you said that he lights things up.
Oh, yeah. So if anybody has never seen this turtle, if you could see this video, it is on Satan's_riot. I pinned it. It's the very first video. Let me just explain this video, because I tried to explain it in the caption, but you know, there's only so much you can do. So this turtle I had gotten from the dark web, not myself. It was from another person who had received from these two guys that had wanted something crazy and fun. Well, they got a little bit more than they bargained for. Okay.
Yeah.
Tearing up their house, throwing shit across the walls. They were hearing screech, huge cold spots. You know, shadow figures, you know, things were moving. They were killing. He was blowing out their bulbs. They couldn't take it. So they sent it to her. Now, it's unfortunate because she does not deal with negatives. And so when I received them, you know, I thought to myself, you know what? Screw it. Because I do take in all the negatives. I don't care how nasty somebody says it is. I will take it on. And I actually have more fun working with the negatives now than I do the positives. They're funny as hell. You know, their energy, way different. They're much stronger. So when he came in, I sat him right on that chair. Then that is my my other coworker Amber's chair, and it's across from my station. And I had one customer in that day. I'll never forget it. This was on a Tuesday. My customer was a retired detective. She had moved to Florida with her husband. She comes in just to get tattooed by me. She stays a day, sees her family, and goes home. So her and I are sitting in this chair, and I was so excited because I saw in the tracking that it was coming that day. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get this thing. I can't wait to investigate it. And the lady told me it was made out of skin. Now I said, well, what kind of skin? She goes, I don't know, but it is definitely skin. So look, all I can tell you is it came from the dark web. I know nothing else about it. I said, okay. When it came and I unboxed it, before I even had it out of the box, the whole box was just, I mean, this gust of air like came out of it as if somebody was blowing like, like a fan on my face. Like it literally was just freezing cold. And I thought, oh yeah, we got something here.
Here we go.
So I pulled it out of the box. I always introduce myself like I usually do. I said, hey, I'm Sophie. I'm your keeper now. I'm here to keep you safe. I'm here to work with you. Anything you need. I really hope you find a really happy time here. And let's get to know each other. It's kind of like going on a first date, right? Like you sit there and you talk to people and you kind of get to know them and see what they're about and see if you guys are compatible. So, I brought him back and I was showing her and she goes, and I didn't even say anything to her. She didn't know it was made out of skin. She goes, that's skin? Because she was a detective. I said, holy shit, how did you know that? She goes, you can see it. And we kind of turned him over and you can see he's kind of stitched around the neck, down the belly. He's stitched under here. Now he's not a taxidermy turtle. Let me just preface that. He is not taxidermy.
Okay.
He almost feels like maybe a light wood, like maybe like a light olive wood, something along that. And somebody maneuvered this skin over him because you can even see the little round dots, that skin has.
Yeah, like pores.
Yes, you can see it's nutty. So I put him on her chair. I the picture that you saw right there with the 2 cat balls, the bullet light, the flashlight. I just set it there. I went back to my tattoo. I didn't even get a chance to get in my chair. And she goes, your light's going off. And I turn around. I was like, oh, so usually if a bullet light goes off that fast, I don't think it's paranormal because sometimes it could have been the way I put it down. If the back end of it hits, if people that work with them, it can set it off. So
it's
I was
sensitive.
like, probably me. I went over, reset it, put it down very lightly, waited there for a couple seconds. I was like, okay, it's not going off. Turn around, come back. I was sitting back in my tattoo chair. I had just put my gloves on. About 5 minutes later, it's going off again. I said, okay. I go back over. I reset it again. 10 minutes later, dim light going off again. I said, okay. I was like, okay, cool. So probably he was there for probably about an hour. And I knew from being told by the woman who sent him that they had heard screeching of some sort. Like it sounds like claws in the wall. It sounds like screeching.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, okay, this is unique. So all of a sudden,
okay, this is unique. I'd be like, nope.
Yeah. In working with them now, I'm not afraid of anything. Like you can put me in a dark hallway. I can hear.
No, I'm with you. I'm not really scared, but still, like I just love how you. Does that sound like me or what? Like screeching, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Screeching. You just sounded like me right there.
Well, that's the thing. We heard
I like this one.
And she went, what in the hell was that? And I looked for, and it was a long screech. It wasn't just like a quick screech. It was long. And I thought,
you're like,
yeah, I was like, damn, I was like, he can do it. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, apparently this thing screeches and we just witnessed it. You and I, there's nobody else here. And this was the dead of winter. So there were no animals out. And it was from
no foxes or anything.
Right. It was from the tattoo shop. But again, I thought, maybe it was a bird outside. Maybe. Until about 2.5 hours later, it did it again, but now it sounded different. Still a long screech, but it wasn't the same vocals. And I thought, oh, this is gonna be a good one.
You're like, good job, Skin Turtle.
Then I was like, I'm like a little kid in a king, so I'm like, yes, this is awesome. So she when she finally left, it was towards the end of the day. She was a big 6-hour tattoo, and I didn't have anybody else booked on the books. And I was like, you know what? I never work with any object for at least 2 or 3 weeks. I let it settle in. I give it a light, talk to it every day, but I never start to work with them.
So smart.
The fact that it screeched twice, I was like, man, maybe there's something here. So I was getting ready to sit down with my phone. I always put on a little tripod and I just sit back and I'm just like, like, hey, if you want to talk to me, I'm here to listen. Well, the next thing you know, at the time, one of my contractors came in and he was like, hey, I got to run some stuff by you. And I was like, damn, I really wanted to work with this thing. So what I always do, if I have to walk away from an object, I will always leave my phone running, right? Leave it on record, leave it running. So I was the only one in the shop along with my contractor. So we were going back down into the basement to work that out. And I didn't realize it was going to be 45 minutes later. And I'm like, shit, like this took too long. I can't work with them tonight. It's time to go. So I walked back. Now, I had left the flashlight on because I've been finding lately, thanks to my friend Heather, that it's easier sometimes for the spirit to start with the flashlight on. I used to leave it off, but now I've been turning it on. Yeah, and it's really
I didn't know that.
Me neither. I mean, until she started to do it, and I was like, oh, you're starting with it on. And it's basically like, well, yeah, because guess what? They can draw the energy from the light and then start to maneuver it. So I've been getting more luck because I would never get the flashlight to turn on. I was like, what the fuck? Come on, turn it on for me. Turn it off for me.
That's so smart.
Yeah, but I was like, wow, okay. So I left the flashlight on this time. And that was actually the first time I ever did it. Left it on. When I came back to grab my phone, I thought, this is weird. The flashlight's off, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was like, oh, well, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get home and feed my dog. So I packed up all my shit. I said, all right, dude. I said, sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you tonight. Hopefully again soon. And I actually put him back in his box and I put him in the back room because I didn't have a spot for him yet. So when I got home that night, sitting there, I'm cooking dinner, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm kind of going through the video just to see if I caught anything. Cause I was like, oh, the flashlight was off. Like, let me see if I can find it. So what I did was before I watched, it was 44 minutes long, this video. I sped it all the way up to get to the flashlight turning off. Cause that's when it kind of gives me a gauge. Cause when as investigators, I sit here for hours. I'll sit here and listen to 8 hours evidence on recorders that I put on as I'm doing my tattoo appointments. I'm them, and I have a little notebook, and anything I hear, I rewind, I hear again, footsteps, whatnot. And I was like, I'm too tired tonight. I don't feel like sitting here watching 44 minutes of stagnancy. So did the fast forward. I was like, oh, that's when the flashlight went off. Let me go back. I noticed something with that one ball. So there are 2 balls that Anthony showed in that photo. The one does not move at all. The one on the right, like if you're staring at the photo, the one on the left does not move. The one on the right is the one that I saw something in it. I thought I caught a shadow figure because, the ball is reflective. So I saw something when I fit. So it's, it's the ball next to the flashlight. I saw something and I thought, oh my God, I caught a shadow figure. Somebody must have walked past it when I was away from it. Well, then the next thing you know, when I fast forwarded it, I noticed the ball move. And I thought, what the fuck? Like, whoa, wait a minute. Did I just see this? So let me just explain this. If you guys go to Satan's Riot and you watch this video, that ball that's next to the flashlight, it took 12 minutes for that ball to move from a downward position to an upright position. Now, I say that it defies gravity, and it's definitely non-human. It defies gravity because most people that know what a cat ball is, it's got the little red, thing to turn it on and off. That's it. So when you put a cat ball down, which way does it usually go, guys? The red goes down until you can get it set. Right. There is no reason on this earth that ball shouldn't have went back down. He moved it so slow that it should have naturally. So he was holding this ball with force. Then he drained the entire flashlight and the flashlight was completely dead. So when I came in the next morning, after I saw the flashlight had turned off, flashlight was dead. Okay. What? Now there's a second video that Heather made, my friend Heather, when she was down. She was helping me for a week with the basement and working with some of the spirits. She took him upstairs into the kitchen. Her video is him not only turning the flashlight on, but turning a bullet light on at the same time of her asking him, are you an inhuman spirit? He can manipulate electricity around him. He can manipulate his aura, his field. All my spirits, as much as they can move objects, as much as they can throw balls, as much as they can do, I do not have a single spirit in that shop that I've ever seen that can do what he can do. I've never seen anything like it. And wow. I'm almost wondering if he might be slightly partial alien. And I know that sounds really crazy, but when I started to research other spirits that could do that, I couldn't find anything. And I mean, aliens can levitate things and hold them, maneuver their energies. And I thought, man, are you part alien? Like maybe that's why you're so strong. So we are still working with him to this day, trying to figure out. But let me tell you something. He's not breaking my shit. He's not knocking out my lights. You know what I mean? Like, I think he really, and the funny thing was we had a soft opening for the museum, and 5 different people were like, holy shit, he just moved. And it's funny, I have to put down on his feet. So he's on the one part of the glass, and I have him boxed in, not for any other reason. I don't box any of my spirits, just so people know that the only reason they're encased or in certain ones are in boxes is to protect their vessel. Many of those vessels in the 1800s, many of them are made out of straw. So I just don't want them to get more destroyed than they already are.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's got some kind of skin on him. So I don't know what kind yet. So I don't want the oil people touching him or him getting, deteriorated, because skin does dry out,
It does,
but people, he does look like he's moved. I've gone down there and fixed them, and I'll come back like 2 days later and he looks like he's in another direction. There's nobody else down there but me. So now I have to put like little tape on underneath the skin.
I was gonna say chalk. You have to go around him with chalk.
Chalk line, because he is moving. I'm gonna tell you, these people were not seeing. They were not. It was crazy. I think Mary Jo was there that night. Ryan that night. Like, he's got such a vibrational pattern that it's wild. Like, his energy just makes you drawn to him. It's like he pulls people in. I don't think not in an evil way, but just like, hey, look at me. This is what I can do. Like, I am something. I am somebody. I am something. Right. And I also think he has multiple attachments to him. So I'm still working with him, but it would be great to just have a one-on-one session for a few hours with just him and see what else he can do, because I think he can do some crazy shit.
I have a good idea. I have an idea with him. Mm-hmm. Why don't you put him on a Ouija board? Ask him a question and see what letter he's on. When he's not going to go all over. I mean, he might take his time, go to each one, maybe for a day, and just log it in.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Brilliant, Anthony.
Yeah. That is brilliant.
He's so good like this, Anthony. Like, he's such good ideas all the time.
We have Bill from Empty Casket, who I love. Bill and Tom.
Bill.
Yes. People. Bill.
We love them too.
Ouija boards, and he's made a few for the basement. He made me one that's round, that was originally supposed to be for the seance table, but because of the seance candelabra, it's a little too heavy. We were afraid it was going to break it, so I've actually put it on a really beautiful stand, and it's on the bar. But it's made out of glass and it's etched in, so I think it would actually fit on, and it's rounded. So I wonder if the body would turn, turn with each letter.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Like, Bill was there. Bill was there also this weekend.
Yeah.
Bill and Tanya, they're so great. We had them on the show twice. They're so great.
Yeah,
they did a live Ouija board. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a live Ouija board. I'm going to have them make a Ouija board for the show.
Yeah.
We have a couple questions about this particular creature. What do you call it?
What, the turtle?
What's his name? The name?
Turtle.
Unknown. Yeah. Unknown right
Nothing.
now.
Okay.
That's what he is. He's an unknown entity.
They said I think it was Mary Beth who asked, what do the other entities think of it?
I don't think that they have a say in him. It's funny. They will talk about the other negatives, like, a lot of bozos, a lot of the different clowns. They will talk about the other ones. But yeah, like Heather's there right now.
My favorite bozo.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to read Heather's comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't read it from here because the lettering is too small.
I asked him if he remembered me at White Hill, and he lit it all the way to red on the EMF. I love his energy so much.
Yeah. So he's a watcher, I think. I don't think the other spirits know what to do with him. I think he is literally his own being. Like I said, he is my Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Like,
I love it.
He is. And I think that he's a one of a kind. I don't think there's anything out there like him. And if there is, like, send them, if anybody's got one, send it over, because I'd love to see what the two of them can do together. But yeah, I think he's a lone wolf. I do. I think that he's in a different class of spirits, entities, haunted artifacts. He's definitely different. I've never come across one like him or seen one online. But yeah, he's something special. He really is.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, and when you show me him on the table this week, I was like, I didn't have much time because I wanted to get back to my booth. I came on, we talked and everything, and it's just something. And it was.
This is a good idea from Jenny. Yeah. From Jenny, put a pendulum on a pendulum hanging thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can place on an alphabetical board in front of it and log the letters. You could, even on a video. These are such good ideas. There's a yes, no box idea. See, this is so good. We have such a smart audience. Love it. While we're on the questions, before we move on, I see Adam has one and Raul has one. You may have answered this, but do you have any paranormal tattoos?
Yeah, I have a few ghosts. Like I literally have a ghost right here, my cute little ghost.
It's a little personal of a question, I know, but
no, that's okay. That's okay.
I don't know what the etiquette is.
I have my demon ghost right here, which has the sigil for death, because they are dead. We need the dead, to have the living, vice versa.
Sure.
I have a few ghosts on me. So they would be my paranormal tattoos.
Yeah, Jenny, when you have tats, nobody's ever embarrassed to talk about them. They always have stories.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that it was like that you like to talk about them, but unless you don't.
When I'm at bars.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Like when I'm out, with friends or like family and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, that's when most tattoo artists will tell you they don't want to be bothered.
I can understand that.
Yeah, many times I don't even tell people I'm a tattoo artist. Like, I mean, just because I'm tattooed doesn't mean I'm a tattoo artist,
Yeah.
Sometimes people come like, oh no, I'm a trash collector. I work in a trash. And they're like, oh, and they walk right away. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Because, when you work in the industry, it requires a lot of energy to not only draw and tattoo, but, now you have the energies of the customers you're getting where they're, they might be having a great day. They might be having an off day. They might have just lost somebody. It's a lot of different energies that we take on as people, as artists. It just gets hard to keep up, those levels while we're trying to work, trying to give you the perfect tattoo, trying not to fuck up, trying not to, and do all these things. So when I'm done at the shop, other than when I have to come home and draw my appointments, I want nothing to do with tattooing. I want nothing to do with the business. I just want to
get it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like a doctor. You don't want to go home and treat people.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm a retired electrician, so I know all about it. Everybody, they meet you and they're like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what do you do? I'm an electrician now. Hey, I got this thing at the house. It's quick. It's not working. And, I mean? I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. So, Raul at Tower Paranormal wants to know if any of your patrons have ever visually seen a spirit while getting tattooed, not just felt them, but visually said, I see it. I see a little girl, or I see.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we do have multiple entities that are full body apparitions on a lot of the time. So we have Wilbert. Wow. Wilbert is one of our resident spirits. His last name is Eastlack. He was one of the owners of the property. He died around 1856, I think it was, of which was consumption, which is also tuberculosis.
Right.
And his father, George, owned the property as well. So Wilbert was only about 17 when he passed away. Now, Wilbert is very tall. He is very protective of the building. And also, for some reason, I think it's because of our mutual respect. Like, he is like my right-hand man. He's like, my enforcer. And many of
He's your bouncer.
He is my bouncer. And many of the customers have seen him while I'm in the middle of tattooing them. And they're like, oh, my God, you have a customer up there. I'm like, where? And I have cameras now. And I'm like, there's nobody in the parking lot. Like, where is all this? Like, where is he? And they were like, he was standing right there, like kind of looking in. So I'm like, oh shit, like how long they've been out there. So here I am running up thinking like, oh my God, hello, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear you come in. There's nobody up there. And I'll look back to my customer and say, where are they? They said they were just there. So Wilbert has been seen multiple times. We have a little girl that's up on the second floor, but she stays on the stairwell. And a few customers have freaked out seeing her. She's very shy, and I still have not been able to get her to kind of come around to me in all these years. So she's there. She is intelligent, but she likes to observe. So she'll kind of peek through, the spindles. People have seen her.
Yeah, sure. Like a kid would do.
And also too, she will come down. You'll see her little feet, where she'll kind of stand there and they'll come down. She's really cute. She's very sweet, just very, very timid and very shy. We have seen a little kid running in the hallway. A few customers have seen him. We usually we get a lot of them in there, a lot of shadow figures during the day too, midday. And I tell people sometimes our shop is more active during the day than it is at night. So that's a whole busted right there. Oh, that's why I always laugh when investigators start at like 8 or 9 at night for their stupid YouTubes. I mean, I don't want to say that, to my friends that have YouTube.
No, I agree. We talk about this a lot on the show, and I'm a big time fan of daytime investigations.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
I'm a little different of an investigator now because I work with spirits every single day. I'm not going to locations for a few hours. I'm not going and staying 2 days and coming home. Our spirits are there with us all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I mean, even, okay, so times of year, I can tell you our shop is very quiet from around end of November through about the beginning of May. I mean, you'll see shit, you'll hear shit, on the daily. Like, so you won't go a day without hearing something, knocks, bangs, taps, talking, whispers, cold spots, seeing, things out of the corner of your eye, orbs. But the real activity, I believe, is from usually May till about right after Halloween.
That's so interesting.
That is when it's most active there. And I think it's kind of like us, most of our spirits there are human, our negatives, I'm going to say they're inhuman, negatives, demonics, whatever people want to call them. But most of our human spirits, I think, are like us. Think about it. In winter, I don't want to do shit. I mean, I want to stay home. It's cold. I get cold. I want to stay home and be nice and warm. Mm-hmm. But I think our spirits are the same way. I think they kind of go into hibernation and then they start to come back out when it gets warmer.
Okay.
Even rainstorms, electrical storms, that place is charged. I mean,
oh yeah,
right, exactly. So
we say.
Sure.
My theory, but we get more shit during the day than we do at night.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it. Yeah. I agree with that. What's your oldest spirit?
Well, that's a really good question. To be honest, I don't know exactly. If I had to choose, probably one of the negative, one of the bozo clowns. They're more on a level of like a higher level demonic, which usually demonics are older in nature, because you don't really have, but they're older in nature. If I had to choose though, I'm going to say maybe this turtle may have something that's of not even on this planet. So
ancient, really.
Right. Ancient. Yes. I think he is an ancient. I really, really do. I'm sticking to that until I'm told not, like until he answers me that he's not. I think he is an ancient. I do have another ancient in there named Nicholas. He's in one of the cases. He can be a handful, but he's an ancient. Every time I work with him, he'll tell me, he's like, I'm 1,000 years old. I'm like, no, you're not, Nicholas. He goes, yes, I am. So, and sometimes, they like to lie, which that a lot of the negative, they will lie. But yeah, I would say probably right now, maybe the turtle, because I do think he's from another world. So,
so yeah, it seems your friend Heather agrees on the turtle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got other things here which I think are cool because, like, to me, they're from the movies, so I can identify with them, and then they're haunted. That's cool. This is one of my favorites. Yeah.
Oh. So the girl who made him, that is actually, so she's a haunted doll dealer. She actually likes to handcraft her own pieces that has an attachment. So she fashioned him after, of course, Jigsaw, from the Saw movie.
Mm-hmm.
But she believes that he is the cannibal Alfred Packer. And I had to look him up myself because I also deal with serial killer memorabilia and I also deal with true crime. She believes, so I had to look him up. Alfred Packer took out like an entire crew of people in the woods and ate them. So
the name sounded familiar from somewhere.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character. I have been working with him. He's very, let's just say he'll work when he feels like it. But everything that I've asked him, like I'll ask him, like, so certain ones that I don't know anything about, I'll ask them questions and say, how many people did you unlive, right? And I'm not going to say a number, but I've already done research on him and see if he gives me the correct number. How did you take these people out? And I'll get like 8 or 8, and I'm like, okay, maybe you really are.
Whoa.
And, where were you born? and it'll, in his listing, it'll look, I'll see it. And if he gives me the right state, then I'm like, holy crap, maybe you really are,
That's wild.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Here's another one of my favorites. I got a bunch of favorites with you guys.
They're all cool.
Oh, wait till you actually come in there. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait now.
It's like a little snippet, of what we have.
Everything. Okay. I just took what I could, to have the show for tonight right here.
Okay. So it's funny thing that you're talking about the Chucky doll, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
My Woody doll.
So that Chucky doll is not something that I got from Toys R Us. Now him, I actually bought. I bought him from an artist in Peru, probably about 6 years ago. And when you actually are up close on him, you can see the man makes him all handmade. He actually sculpts him. He actually hand paints him. He actually makes the costumes and puts the hair in. So that Chucky you will never find another one like him. Funny thing was, Chucky wasn't haunted. So Heather, lovely Heather again, Heather was the one, she came in for a tattoo one day and she goes, he's haunted. I said, Heather, I love you, girl, but no, he is not. She goes, trust me, he is. And she goes, give him a ball. Let's see. She was able to gather that his name is Michael. He actually came from the West Coast. He was a model. Okay. He literally was moseying along, because spirits can go anywhere. And a lot of people don't realize some of our spirits anywhere, they will not just stay in one area. I believe they go travel. They go visit family. They go visit loved ones. They might go back to the hometown or the country that they were from, and then they come back. So that's the nice thing about being a spirit. You can go anywhere you want, anywhere your heart desires.
That's right.
So Michael,
there's no physical body to keep you back.
Exactly. So Michael was kind of walking along, passing the shop. Apparently, from what he told Heather, he saw a bunch of my spirits standing outside having a smoke and a drink, and they were like, "Hey, come on in! Like, come check this place out. You'll really like it." And Michael said he loved it so much, he noticed the Chucky doll was not inhabited. He loves horror movies, so that's why he took over Chucky. He's the sweetest one. Because when I first started working with him, I said to him, because Heather wasn't there, I was like, okay, Michael, I just hope you're not a homicidal maniac. Please don't be a homicidal maniac. And
excuse me, are you a homicidal maniac?
Yeah, and he is the sweetest guy. Like, he's like been one of my greatest protectors now. Like, he knows if I'm having an off day or if I'm upset, he starts to light up. He'll light up his ball, he'll let his bullet light, and I'm like, I'm all right, dude. Like, I just need some time. Like, I just need to decompress. I'm having a hard time today, and he's wonderful. And sometimes he doesn't leave me alone. Like, sometimes he's like, no, like, where you going? Like, come talk. And I'm just like, oh, but he is the sweetest thing, and he's just amazing. He's an amazing spirit.
I like the skunk.
Yeah, Mr. Skunk there, Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe.
Cool.
That's cool.
So cute.
Okay,
so
guys.
one of our viewers, Mary Beth, she suggested that it's a safe place. So, your spirits might be inviting others, like you said, and you just said that. She had said that earlier tonight.
Why wouldn't they go there? They got pizza parties. They got cupcakes. Come on.
I know.
You feed them, they will come.
Can I have the address for when I die, please?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be buried. I want to be stuffed and put in her place.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm only bodies, so you can do it yourself. I'll keep you nice and preserved.
Put me in the corner and just put a cannoli on me. I don't need no flashlight. The cannoli's half eaten, I'm responding.
Oh my God! Drink, everyone, drink.
Cannoli.
I think he says it just to drink.
I think so. It's fine by me.
Well, why not?
You're totally in. I love. She's so good.
I took this picture, and it was I took it because it shows some of your stuff there, and also there was something going on here. So, let's see if you remember this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like mania, and they are some of my my negatives. They came from a great person. These were some of her personals. Very strong guys, very strong. I like to call them my demons because they did inhabit demon bodies. but they're great. Manny and them, they're phenomenal spirits. They're very good protectors. But they'll get down. They'll throw they'll throw some hands in fists if people get out of line. But they're very, very awesome spirits.
They're so cool looking.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
You were asking a question on this one, with the one in the center there, the one has like a duck bill.
Yes.
And you were asking it, and you asked a question, and the light, the ball, the cat ball went off.
Mm-hmm. That's a gorgeous one.
Yeah.
I like the little Yoda doll. Yeah.
Really beautiful.
Another one, you had marked WTF.
Yeah, it looks Aztec, Mary Beth was saying.
Hold on. I actually have that little one right here.
You got it? I'll take this.
Here it is.
Oh, cool.
There it goes. Hello.
Live, people, live.
Uh-huh. So this one came from a really good friend at Phantasmagoria Oddities. Sean hooked me up with this one. And for
Sean Austin?
No, not that Sean, a different Sean.
Okay.
Phantasmagoria Oddities. He hooked me up with that one. And I actually had it. I took that video while I was sitting here at my computer desk. And I I just got him in. I said, hey, little buddy. I said, look, I feel like you're not sure of me yet. I don't know if you want to talk to me. I don't know what the deal is, but if you light your light up, I'll leave you alone today. Well, the next thing you know, and he's leaning back. So how gravity works, he's leaning back and you can see him leaning back. All of a sudden, when you watch this video, I'm talking to him. I'm like, all right, little guy, if you light the light, I'll leave you alone. I won't ask any more questions today. And I was sitting here doing work. And I'm watching him. He was sitting here for freaking days before I started to work with him. And all of a sudden, he just came forward on me. And it freaked me out because I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I grabbed him and I pushed him back. I was like,
whoa.
You can hear that in the video when you're doing, you can hear it. When he goes forward, you hear, oh, yeah.
It freaked me out because I'm this close to it. He's only less than a foot away.
I just want to put that up there again. Everybody, please say Satan _riot. That's where you're going to see it on Instagram.
_riot. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put that in the chat so people can see it.
I'm old. So when she told me it's Satan _riot, I was actually writing underscore the word.
Oh no!
I don't know that's called underscore. I'm 100 years old here.
That's great.
It's Satan, and she goes underscore. I'm like and she goes no.
Like Satan's underscore.
The line underneath, and I'm like, okay,
underscore.
I'm old. I didn't know it's called underscore.
Oh no, I'm not making fun of you. That's just funny.
And how about the pound sign? When I was the number, there was the number sign, and now it's pound sign. So what do I know? Okay, and there's another one here I really liked also.
Okay, that one from This Cinema is Haunted. So that was one of Lawrence's captures. So he came in, he did a small little documentary on us, which is on YouTube. You can check him out at The Cinema is Haunted. And he sent me that. He goes, you're not going to believe what I caught. So if you were to listen to that, and he put that in, he goes, while he was alone in the library, you'll hear a whisper.
Yes, you do.
Yes, when he was videoing her. And he said he was freaked out because all he was up there doing was panning a camera, just to get some footage for the documentary that he was going to overlay with talking. And as he was going through it, you hear this whisper and he's like, what in the hell? I was like, yeah.
That was pretty cool. And this is like a whole group of these guys together. They all look tough guys and they look freaky. So.
Oh, they're my gang members. I love this crew. So
they're my gang members.
Yeah, these guys came from an estate of Disney Rogers. Now, Disney Rogers was a guy who was very eclectic. He believed in conjuring spirits, and I'm learning more about him from the person who actually estate. These are two of the group. Now, this group, she sent me, I think there's about maybe 15 of them.
Oh, wow.
He hand painted these vessels. He made their clothing. These were his homeboys. Now, all of these gang members were all affiliated. Most of them died in prison. Some of them are married couples. Like we have Chewy's great. We have Victor. We have Victor's wife is part of the gang. You know, his side piece. You know, they all are the most fun group to work with, and they actually speak Spanish and they speak English, so it's kind of cool. So I'm trying to brush up on my Spanish, and we have one of our other employees' boyfriends, my employee Deja, her boyfriend Jeff, he's Ecuadorian, so he speaks Spanish. So when he comes in, I'm teaching him how to work with the spirits, and I'm like, Jeff, come here, like you got to help me. And I'm like, do me a favor, ask them in Spanish and say it in English, because when we're recording, anybody who may not speak Spanish, this way they know what we're asking, because when he's getting the effects and them lighting up lights, you know, he'll ask, you know, what's your favorite color? And it's cool because Jeff actually had them counting. There's a few videos up there where he goes, okay, guys, how old are you? Are you 50? Are you 51? 52? Ring the bell to let me know how old you are. So it was really, really cool, the effects that he was getting with them. But they will speak both, you know, English and Spanish. You know, I go down there, you know, in the mornings, and I try to, you know, we're an eclectic group, so we try to just make all the spirits, you know, feel good. But yeah, that's the one thing I said, guys, forgive me. I said, my Spanish is a little rusty. I said, but I'm working on it, you know, working on it. So
now,
I
love that. If you want to do something without, you get a recorder and you have somebody speak a bunch of Spanish questions in it, and you play it, and then you have another recorder recording it, but the Spanish questions you're going to have is you're going to know what the questions are at least, and then your friend could translate them. Or I know there's translations now on the apps on the phone.
Good idea.
And because I know my son uses that for his in-laws.
Yeah, good idea.
You know, you just get an app and you can do it that way. Or you maybe just put the app down. So you put your phone down with the app, ask questions, and see what comes through translation.
That's perfect.
Oh, we have a volunteer to
I will
help
take you up on that offer.
That's Raul.
That's Raul.
Yep, come down anytime. I could always use help. There's plenty of spirits there.
So I think I got another one here. His name is Teeth, something like that.
Oh yeah, Teeth. Yeah, he was awesome. So we had Teeth down there. He's with all the bozos. He's with a lot of the negatives. Like we have a Zozo down there. He likes to call himself Zozo. We have Vamp. Vamp is incredible. Vamp is the one with the orange hair next to Teeth. There's a few videos of Vamp on the Satan's Riot where I'm teaching him how to count with basically a geophone. So he'll count, like, I'm like, how many, he counts it. He's great. He loves that thing, by the way. That is his special toy. Like, he won't fuck with the REM pod, but he'll mess with the geophone. But Teeth is awesome. Teeth was lighting up like crazy. And then I just happened to turn around, and then we were, you heard the question. It's on the video. But yeah, he's phenomenal. He's super funny. That whole group there, as negative as they are some of the most fun to work with. Like, I can't even tell you. And that's the thing too, I try to, when I teach investigators, when they come down and work with haunted objects, because I never realized how many investigators are not familiar with actually working with haunted objects. Like, yeah, they'll go to a location, they'll be great there. But I'm like, no. Working with something in front of you that has its own force field, is a lot different than working in a big open space. And I'm like, this, you have to get down on a different level. So some of them will not touch a REM pod. Like my spirits, there's only one REM pod that my spirits will really, really like. And that's the one that Bill made me, which is actually a skull. And they love that thing. It's a skull. It's fashioned off of one of our skulls in the shop. And that's the only one that they'll mess with. And that's on there too. You'll see the skull come up on a few of our videos. But other spirits, like some of them are too young. They don't know what certain devices do. So we try to teach. Some of the older spirits only will work with a flashlight. They will not light up a ghost, cat ball. They will not light up a bullet light. They will only light the flashlight. So, I try to tell these investigators when they're coming in, like, look, like, put everything out. You never know what they're going to bite on. If they're only ringing in the bell, that's their means of communication. They may not know or understand or have the energy to be able to light this or that. It's not going to set them off. And a lot of times too, again, it pisses me off because I see these investigators on TV and on YouTube and everything else, like, oh, it was a slow night because they only did this. okay, maybe that's the only thing the spirit could do. I'm seeing you're getting evidence. I'm seeing that they're communicating with you.
Right. You're right.
Up, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. It's not like a TV show. They're there for a week or two, and they're gonna get their show with all evidence. You're there one night. You're not gonna get the same amount of evidence you see on the show.
No.
Those shows
different things
sliced and
every night.
different nights and everything else. And and a lot of people think, oh, slow night. Sometimes you think it's a slow night. You go home, you got so many EVPs and stuff happening.
Else pisses me off is these investigators that give places ratings. No place should be giving a rating of any kind.
Nope, not by nobody.
Give a rating.
Really?
My rating.
Ratings. I didn't know that. Ratings. Really?
Oh, like, I'll give this place a 3. Really? You were there for one night? Really?
They're not trick ponies.
No.
They're human spirits, some of them.
They're like, oh my God, this place was so active. I give it a 10. Okay, good. You got a great night. You got a great few hours. Lucky you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just try to stay away from that side of the paranormal. Like I have in my building. And honestly, if I never went to another investigation or location in my life, I'd be set for life. That's the one.
You would. You would.
I'm okay with that.
You would. It's such a beautiful story because it really could have gone another way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yours is such a beautiful, beautiful story. It went the right way. And this is 10 years now, right? Like over 10 years, 11 years.
They've been with me for
her
since 2014.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, we put your Instagram. We usually ask at the end of the show for people's info, but we did put the link to Satan's Riot in the chat and the name of your shop. And I will put the phone number in there. You're probably going to get a million calls now.
I know people in the audience are ready. Adam is ready to come.
Like, how do I get
a hitchhike from Texas to get a tat. He's on his way. I think he's walking now. He should be here by June of next year.
We'll pick him up on the bus, on the Seekers bus.
We're coming close towards.
I know. I'm so sad.
I am too.
3 more hours.
I'm always available.
So afterwards, stay on. We'll talk.
I will.
But any other plugs you want to put out there? Any events that you may be having or something like that?
Now, right now, our event calendar, I'm keeping it open. Because we have a few investigative teams. Like Frank's coming back out in July. So we're trying to keep it kind of on the smaller scale right now. The museum will be open. Will be open soon. And other than that, we're just, like I said, that is my goal this year is to try to get the museum up and going. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to run it yet because it's in the basement and I'm just kind of afraid to leave people down there by themselves only because it's very heavy. So if people aren't used to their energy, a lot of people get nauseous when they go down there. A lot of people feel dizzy. So I kind of have to either hire somebody or get somebody to volunteer to be a chaperone in case anybody starts to feel woozy,
Yeah.
But
will you say hello to Frank for me?
I will. I sure will. I'll see him soon.
Yeah.
Good. It's good guy.
Yes. Yeah. He helped me a lot. I always tell him, I said, you're the person that first of all put us on the map and you're the person that helped me not sell my building.
Yes. And
that's
kind of what I was trying to say. Yeah, you met the right person at the right time. It all went the right way. And this has just been fascinating. Just fascinating. What a great show. Really so thankful.
We had a great show. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing.
It was like meant that we met.
Me too. It was it was like fate, Anthony. It was fate.
Yeah.
Fate and cannoli.
Yeah. It sounds like that plays a huge role in your life, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cannolis?
In a good way, yeah. Cannoli in your life.
Cannolis to me is like a haunted place. Spirits to her. Yeah, so
everybody's going to be so drunk, no one's going to be watching anymore.
Cannolis. That's 3 times. So, drink the times, hey! The end of the show.
What a party show.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah, Mary Beth's like, man, I gotta go potty now.
I want to thank everybody for showing in the audience, and you were a fantastic guest.
You are wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we will be visiting. You know, I might be get some ink down there. We're gonna talk.
Maybe in my first one.
Woo!
Yeah, you get your first
What
ink.
an honor that would be.
I know Raul, Adam are on their way now, so that's great. You know, we have
They
a lot of
left you a
people.
message already for the morning.
Yeah, they're gonna be sitting on the stoop with some coffee. How do you take
She's
your coffee?
like, please.
So, yeah.
What's his name? Wilbur?
We got 30
founder?
seconds.
Wilbur? Yeah.
Wilbur. Yeah, he's going to be looking out for them.
Yeah, he will.
So, I want to, like I said, thank everybody in the audience. Thank
you,
Sophie,
everybody.
Jenny, well, thank everybody. But I think it was a fantastic show. Everybody had input. Everybody in the audience really loved everything. So, and at the end, you're going to see something that I think you might like. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're going to have to say goodnight. And remember this. You got to be safe out there. You want to look for ghosts. You don't want to be a ghost. Hey, forget about it. Ciao, familia.
Guys.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.